Explore the vibrant arts and culture landscape of Michigan, a state with a thriving creative ecosystem that has birthed iconic movements like Motown and the Purple Rose Theater. Home to legendary musicians, writers, and artists, Michigan boasts a rich tapestry of cultural heritage known worldwide. Michigan Creates is a podcast series that will connect listeners with gifted artists and cultural institutions that are nurturing Michigan's vibrant creative landscape. Welcome to Michigan Creates, the podcast where we highlight the artists, organizations, and creative minds shaping Michigan's vibrant art scene. I'm your host, Ara Topouzian, and today we're diving into the power of community-based art and its impact on creative expression. Joining me is Audra Pieknik, Executive Director of The Art Experience, a nonprofit dedicated to making art accessible to all. With a passion for fostering creativity and bringing people together through the arts, Audra leads an organization that provides a space for individuals to explore, create, and connect. We'll discuss the art experiences in Michigan, the importance of creative spaces, and how art can be a catalyst for personal and community growth. So sit back, get inspired, and enjoy this conversation with Audra Pieknik. Audra, thank you for being on Michigan Creates. I'm really interested in talking to, when we did a little pre-interview, I got a bit of a taste of what your background was like before running the art experience, which we're going to certainly get to. But tell our viewers and listeners your background. You've got an interesting musical background.
Yeah, I would say so. I started playing music when I was 4. I learned the piano, and then when I got into middle school band, I picked up the clarinet, and then I also was introduced to this organization called the Plymouth Fife and Drum Corps, and right. I spent most of my life with that group, playing and marching around different parades in Michigan, going to the East Coast. And once I graduated from high school, I went back and ended up teaching music. And it was always a part-time job, and I loved it. I loved how we got to travel and how we got to intermingle with all different kinds of people.
Yeah, that's the interesting, not that playing the piano or the clarinet's not interesting, but the fife and drum, kind of took me back from it. Like, wow, I don't think I've ever talked to anybody that's had that background. And then let's go on to college time. So, Go Green.
Yes, Go Green. Yeah, I'm a Spartan. Yeah. My first go at school was at Michigan State, and I graduated with an art history degree. And because I was teaching music with the Fife and Drum Corps, after life kind of took its turns and I had babies and family kind of things, and the teaching was a part-time thing, I thought, oh, well, it would be great to go back to school and be a teacher. And so I went back to school at OU, Oakland University, and I was told that I had to decide on who it was that I was going to teach. Was I going to teach secondary or elementary school music? And I said, I like everybody. So, so I went and said, all right, I'll just do an English degree. And at that time, it was, you had to have like a more basic, a more general kind of education background in order to go back and get a teaching certificate. So that was always my fallback. But from that English degree, I went and found an internship at the Art Experience. And so that's kind of how this whole... Yeah,
that's a great connection. So you worked at the Art Experience and then eventually became executive director. Yes. Talk about the organization. What is the Art Experience? First of all, tell us where it's located.
Oh, yeah. We are a community art and art therapy studio that's located in Pontiac. So we've been around for almost 30 years. We were founded in 1996 by 6 lady art therapists and artists. And we're a place where we believe art is for everyone and everyone is an artist. We're inclusive. We serve those with and without disabilities. We serve those who we're like a creative space for people of all artistic skill levels.
The whole gamut. So talk about some of the programs that you offer.
Oh, well, I would say our most popular program for the general public is called Open Studio. And I know a lot of art organizations around Michigan and nationwide have an open studio where people can come in and use materials. And for us, I think what's different is that it is such a low amount to have access to all of these materials and for so much time. We offer over 22 hours each week of open studio time for people to make whatever it is that they want to make. It's a independent creative exploration that we have.
Okay. And you also being in Pontiac, you're partnering with the school systems as well, I would imagine. So talk about that for a bit. Why is that important?
Well, why? I think Pontiac has had quite a time,
Yeah.
I would say, and I think our organization has had some challenges too. Open Studio, because it's a $6 fee to come in. That doesn't pay for staff members. It certainly
Right.
isn't paying my salary, right? In addition, I think there aren't enough people who are coming to really, I don't know, fill that gap for us. When we're able to partner with the school district or other organizations, we have access to people in the community, and we're just able to leverage all of those relationships more. And so we have a partnership with the Pontiac School District and have art therapy classes at their center school 10 times each week. And we have a connection with the Oakland Intermediate School District and have classes that we work with students and families who are experiencing housing insecurity and have art classes with them once a week. So other organizations, we can supplement their programs for their populations with art and art therapy.
I think that's terrific. And you said earlier, Pontiac has kind of gone through its challenges, and it really has. But it's a fighter city, in the sense that really there's a lot. When you dig right into it, there's a lot of great stuff going on in Pontiac. Yes. And I would imagine the art experience is one of those types of great things that are going on there. So I applaud the work that you're doing there and doing in Pontiac. So how big is your team? You talk about you've got art therapists and salaries and whatnot. I mean, you're a nonprofit. So what is that like? What's your team look like?
I have both artists and art therapists who work for me, and but we're all part-time. So artists are pretty resourceful and have to pull together lots of different gigs to make their lives work. And so as a employer, that's a little bit challenging to make sure we have the staff to fill all of the roles at certain times and all that kind of stuff. But I have 10 regular staff members.
That's a lot. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. So if folks want to become involved, are there ways for the general public to become involved? Outside of the fact that you will take donations, of course,
sure.
But outside of donating and supporting, which we certainly want folks to do, are there other ways that people could become involved with the art experience? Yeah,
well, there are always volunteer opportunities. You can come help us in Open Studio and just be a person. We build community through that program, and it really is kind of like a party, I guess. And so there are people of all ages and all abilities working at the same time. And when they're making art, that's a really great way to build connections between people you never really thought you would interact with. So that is a great opportunity. We have a festival in June that we work with the Water Resource Commissioner's Office at Oakland County and the City of Pontiac. And so that's a free festival called Art Fish Fun. And so
Okay.
Artists are encouraged, even emerging artists. We've expanded the art part of Art Fish Fun, and we have an artist market. And for $25, it's a 4-hour time frame for the event on a Saturday. Right. And I have a table and I have a tent. And if you're just kind of starting out and you have limited inventory, or you just have stuff that you've made around, and you want to try and sell it, like, we can do that there at Art Fish Fun. We're also looking for artists for our fundraiser called Glimpse and Glimmer. And for that, we have a kickoff party for artists. And at this kickoff party, we have artists who are planning to help us with this event. And so they are either coming in as a pair, or we pair them up with somebody. And over the summertime, they collaborate on an art piece, and we kind of check in and get, feedback of how well things are going and maybe how well they are not going. Because different styles clash all the time. But in the end, in November, we will have a beautiful piece of art that it becomes a metaphor for life. And no one is an island. You have to work with others, that kind of thing. And glimmer, I guess, I am a word nerd. So I love that it's kind of another word for gala. And, everyone has a gala. But I have a glimmer. Is an opposite of a trigger. And so when people experience trauma and they're thinking of the things that up in their life, and their nervous system goes into overdrive, and that's the trigger. But the glimmers are more positive and are the things that calm your nervous system down and make you, like, warm your heart. And so we celebrate those positive things, and that's when you see the positive, you see more positive and all of that, and so it kind of just builds, and so we celebrate that too.
It sounds like there's a lot going on with the art experience, and you said a little bit earlier, I mean, it of course, we talk about this all the time. Art builds community. Art has a positive impact on our mental health, and you're doing quite a bit of that work. If folks want to go online, you want to give the web address?
Sure. It is www.theartexperience.org.
Audra, thanks for taking time today. I appreciate you giving us a little glimpse inside to what's going on in the art experience. We hope folks will check out your website and become even more involved with your organization. So thanks for being on Michigan Creates.
Well, thanks for having me, Ara.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Michigan Creates. We hope you've had fun diving into the creativity of our state. From Motown melodies to artisanal wonders, Michigan never fails to dazzle. But hey, the creativity doesn't stop here. Connect with us online, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new episodes. Help us spread the word and also share your own artistic stories. So until next time, I'm Ara Topouzian, and I want you to keep those musical instruments in tune, keep those paintbrushes moving, and keep those cameras rolling. Remember, in Michigan, the only limit is your imagination. Stay creative.